So this is me in my process of removing the fruits from a Mammillaria nehapensis, which is one of my favorite cacti in my collection. And it has been making fruit like crazy lately, and you'll see in later in the video that I've planted many of the seeds from these fruit, and today I'm going to show you how exactly I've done it and how I've gotten them to germinate. I I just happened to look down at it, and there was three more fruits that I was able to pick off. So I can show you, and this you'll see me looking over to check and see if there's any more peeking out because it's just been making them like crazy, and I don't want them to go to waste. So yeah, we have these three cute little fruits, and this is what I call my little sticky note method, where you can really use any dry like paper or even probably toilet paper or a paper towel, but I'll just squirt these seeds onto the sticky note. And what this does is it just dries them out as quick as possible. And so each one of these little fruits, a lot of mammillaria fruit are like this, and you can just squeeze them out. But I'm sure this won't go for every cactus fruit because some of them are really different and they're really diverse. So you'll see me with my fingers here. I just kind of spread the seeds around the sticky note so that they just dry out quicker and there's more surface area touching the air. And then we're done. And this is a sticky note of a fruit that I did previously that's already dry. And so once they're dry, I'll just drag my finger across the sticky note and they'll stick to my finger. And then I will sprinkle them into my vessel that I keep my nehapensis seeds in, and you'll see that there's a number of them in there, probably at least 100, and there'll be more after I dry out these next ones. So now I am preparing three vessels like I would for the seeds I'm drying, but instead I'm going to be growing some cactus that I bought from the cactusstore.com, or it might just be cactusstore.com, but they're a pretty reliable seed seller, and so I'll be planting Cochimea pulselgeri, which is a cool looking species of Cochimea, and I'll also be planting today a different kind of Cochimea setaspina, or setaspina. And then lastly, I'll be planting some Espostoa nana, or nana. So what I'll do is I will first moisten the soil with a mixture of spring water and hydrogen peroxide, although you can use just straight hydrogen peroxide, obviously diluted like you buy in the bottle. I think it comes in about 8% in most cases, which is safe for cactus seed germination. And each one of these little vessels will get their own species, so I'll be able to keep them separate. And I'll just simply sprinkle them with my fingers across the already moistened soil that I have in the pots. And this should be a really, really fine, a fine grit, really well draining mix that you use for these guys, but you should also make sure that there's some nutrients in there. Not super crazy mineral heavy, but definitely mineral heavy. And lastly, this is something new that I've been trying, which the pros do, which you'll sprinkle a little bit of sand on top of these seeds once you sow them, just to kind of give them something to cling on to. Now, I haven't used this method a lot, but I think it probably will help keep fungus and different things off the surface of the soil also that might be undesirable. And I think it's important to know that you can't just use any sand. It has to be sand that's good for plants, because play sand can sometimes contain salt, and once it's in with water, it'll just turn into like concrete. Like it won't let any air come in or out. And here you'll see me place it under my LED lights in a airtight container, and then we're done. So in this container, you'll see seeds that I planted in that we're using that same method, just without the sand. All of these were planted with that same method, and they're almost 100% germination rate. I mean, I can't see any that have damped off or anything. And yeah, it's looking really pretty in there. And these are the ones that I just did with the sand, and they're soon to come up, I'm sure. These are ones that are old enough to be acclimated to the outside air, and I did it pretty slowly over a course of a couple weeks. And yeah, have a good one.